Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Kaiser Gaming. This is Age of Mythology Retold, and in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a build of my very own design. I've taken some heavy inspiration from others, mixed in the recent changes we've seen from the latest patch, and come up with a pretty cool and straightforward way to play Ra. So, if you're looking to learn the Egyptians, or to find a really cool way of playing with this god, buckle in, because this is going to be a fun one. Now, the code you need to know in order to learn this build is 4316 age up 3. Kaiser, what are you talking about? Well, let's find out together. Let's dive right in, and let me share with you the point of this build. The goal is to take advantage of Ra's god power, rain. It makes farmers across the map gather so much faster, 100% faster as of this recording. But for Ra, his farmers gather 200% faster. So, it's a hard power to use if you don't really have a plan, but if you do go into the game with a game plan, then you can use this to get incredible food earnings, boom into the stratosphere, and crush your opponent. So, that's the game plan. 4316 age up 3. We're starting off with 4. Our first 4 villagers we are going to put onto berries. And the reason why we're doing that is because of the most recent patch as of this recording, which gave Ra a really cool buff. His berry gatherers gather 25% faster, functionally at about the same speed as hunters gather from hunt. In fact, I would wager that when you factor in the amount of time it takes to shoot the deer or the boar and collect the food, it's probably faster to gather from the berries. So, first 4 builds, you immediately build a granary, and you're going to start collecting from the berry bushes. I like to send the berry gatherers to the far berries, just because as we filter in more berry gatherers, they don't clump up as easily if we go from back to front. With that 4th build, we want to build a monument. The goal there is to get the pharaoh onto the monument. I would go ahead and say right away. I don't do that in this replay, but I think that it's overall just simpler to immediately put the pharaoh on the monument and bless all of the buildings surrounding the monument. If you get lucky like I do and you can put the granary and the mining camp right there in the same vicinity of the monument, all the better. You want to try to put things in this monument's zone. So, first 4 builds to berries. Then, the next 3 villagers are going to build that mining camp and go to gold. Remember, for the Egyptians, all of their buildings are either free or they cost gold. So gold is extremely important for the Egyptians. And our goal there is, of course, as soon as we get 150 gold to build a temple. But after we get 3 villagers on gold, we're going to go back to the berries and slowly just filter in berry gathering. 4, 3, the next number is 16. We're looking at our total population space. And as soon as we get up to 16 pop, we should be able to go up to the next age. Now, meanwhile, maybe I could add into my code 150, right? I am still keeping an eye on my gold count. As soon as I hit 150 gold, I'm going to take 1 vil off of gold to build a temple. And I'll take the other, another miner off of gold to build a house. Because I don't want to get pop capped. We're not stopping at 15 pop. We're going to go up to 16. Use the priest to, speed up production of these buildings. Honestly, if I had the pharaoh on the monument earlier, that would have covered it, and I think that would be more than enough, right? So the pharaoh's on the monument, we've got the temple up, we have the miners back onto gold, and we're trying to get that 16th pop. As soon as you hit 16 pop, you're going to want to queue up your Age 2 God of Choice. Now, Bast has some really cool things going for her in Age 2. Some techs like Sacred Cats make your farmers farm faster, and Adze of Wepwawet makes your lumberjacks work faster. So very good long-term eco bonuses. I might say, Kaiser, well, you know, faster farming, that's what we want, right? We're focusing on farms. That's true, and Eclipse is a really cool god power if you want to go for a myth army. But Ptah has so much going for him, including Shaduf. It's one of his unique techs, which makes farms 50% cheaper and faster to build. And that discount on farms is incredible synergy with Ra's reign. So I think 90% of the time in a 1v1 situation, Ptah is who you want. And again, I am saying Ptah. Someone feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong and it's actually just Ptah. But I'm going with Ptah here. You get a Wadjet, which is a really cool myth unit. It'll be very helpful for defending because at this stage in the game, you are just playing defense, right? Let me pause really quickly. But my opponent, Kwakusha, who is Zeus, used his lightning bolt to go ahead and just knock that myth unit right out of the game. So good for him. I'm without a myth unit. Now, as we age up, I forgot to mention my last number of the code, right? 4, 3, 16, age up, and then 3. As soon as I age up, I pick Ptah and I go to the next age. I'm going to leave 3 villagers on berries. And in fact, you see here I've done 4 vills on berries, and I missed one. So I would have moved them over too. Moved him or her over too. Put everybody but 3 vills on gold. And the objective here is to build a village center as soon as you can, once you hit age 2. If you can build it next to some food, that's great. Build it next to some, a wood line is also really good. The idea here is you're wanting to build a safe, secure base. And the village center will help you in defending your base, in getting out more villagers. This is a booming strategy, right? Now, when I first started playing with this strategy, I thought, well, maybe I'll just try to sneak another settlement, build another, town center. But in my experience, it makes you far too exposed. You are vulnerable to rushes. It's just very easy to punish. So it's much safer, better call to build the village center. Now, the next thing we want to do, as soon as we get that village center, there are a couple of technologies that we want to get in our back pocket right away. I've already mentioned the Shaduf from Ptah. We want to pick up that technology. Here it is right here. Makes our farms 50% cheaper. That's insane. You also want to pick up your tier 1 lumber technology. Get your lumber guys working harder. And then in the granary, pick up your 2 food techs. We've got plow, which is going to allow villagers to gather food from farms faster, as well as husbandry, which on top of hunt and all of that, and kind of some of the unique bonuses with cows and stuff, it just makes sure all of your farmers carry more food. So it's a good tech to pick up before we use rain. See, this is cool. I just finished the berries, and now I'm still, able to take advantage of my hunt that my opponent presumably has exhausted at this point. Yeah, now he's on berries and it's slower than me. Ha ha ha. Alright. Okay, here we go. We are starting to build many, many, many farms. And at this point, my goal is to get up, I'd say, at least 15 farms. At this point in the build, for me, it's less about precision and more about just sort of eyeballing and getting a feel for what feels right. So I would try to aim for at least 15 farms. I'm greedy. I want to get the most out of that rain power. In this game, I go up to 17 farms. And I'm intuiting at this point that my opponent does not have any farms out. And indeed he doesn't. He's busy. He's gathered his hunt. He's got to use his sheep, his berries. For just about any other player in the game, farms are going to be the last thing that you're thinking about at this point. But not for Ra. So, we're going to go ahead and throw down even more farms. I've got 13 so far, but there's room for so much more. 14, 15, 16. And I want to highlight, at this point, there is a slight score lead. So about 700 points. Me versus Kwakusha here. Okay. Here we go. Rain kicks in. We've got 17 vills. Now, he's not benefiting from this at all. No farms. I have, if the numbers back me up on this, 17 times 3. So that's 51 farmers, right? 51 farmers working at, at this early stage of the game is insane. Look at the food skyrocketing. This is a really fun build to pull off economically. The main concern when using this build, there we go. I've got 1,700 food in the bank. And I'm now able to leverage that into incredible economic gains. The main concern is going to be getting rushed, getting attacked early, right? So I would encourage getting up a barracks quickly. Honestly, maybe even faster than I do in this particular game. You want to get a barracks up, and you have several units in your barracks. You've got spearmen, which is like anti-cav, an axeman, anti-infantry, a slinger, anti-archer. They're not very good units in a general all-around sense, but they are good at repelling attacks. Staying on defense, you want to use your village center and your town centers to shoot at incoming enemies. And between them and the barracks, hopefully you've got enough to repel an early attack. Right? That's another reason why I really like Ptah, by the way, is because of his other unique techs. He's got Electrum bullets, which gives slingers more damage. Scalloped axe gives axemen more damage, and then the leather frame shield gives spearmen more resistance to pierce damage, like pierce armor. So that's a really cool kind of additional bonus for massing up barracks units, which I think is a big part of Ra's game plan. I think you want to leverage that stronger economy into good massed up human units, and I think Ptah really helps with that. You can see here I'm picking up Electrum bullets and just trying to grab all of that stuff. I've run out of gold. This is going to be a big theme for you. If you try this build, you're going to run out of gold very quickly. That's another reason why you want to get up a lot of barracks and leverage this really strong economy that you're able to build up through rain. Use that at the barracks. Get an army out, partly because you need to move out and collect more gold. So at this point, I'm pumping out slingers. In the back of my mind, for some reason, I'm really afraid of archers, and I just like slingers. As a ranged unit, I think it's easier to defend a base with ranged units. So here we go.
Garrick.
Slingers on the field. Just got up an armory. I need to pick up those techs. Going out to get some gold. Okay. Continuing to produce fills. And I should be mixing in... I may be overcommitted to slingers, honestly. Should be mixing in some axemen, some spearmen. Because you never know what your opponent might come at you with. And speak of Zeus, there he is. He's got 2 heroes, Heracles and Jason. 3 Minotaurs. And a whole bunch of hoplites. Which I honestly should have seen coming. I mean, Zeus's strength is hoplite infantry. So axemen would have been a really good call here. And I'm going to be forced to go into the defense. Fortunately, I have picked, I've situated where I think I can push this back. It's going to be a little disruptive.
In here, Garrick.
Slingers. Getting to work. I see restoration from Athena coming in. Healing up units. Trying to back up out of that. Don't want to fight while he's healing. So just trying to put out range from a distance. And chasing down my slingers. Slowly but surely, the TC and the village center are chipping away at this army. Trying to minimize the damage he's finding here. The gold miners are in the background just doing their thing. I'm picking up some tower techs, and here we go. We've got to talk about the Age 3 gods, and I will in just a second, but for right now, I picked Sekhmet, and one of the reasons why is because Citadel is a really cool god power, immediately improving my town center, giving it more HP, giving it more damage, right? So it's just way more effective than your usual TC, and it should do a good job repelling this attack. Using my economy, I'm getting out priests so that they can slowly chip away these myth units. And I'm also switching from slingers to axemen so that they can do a better job of chipping away at these hoplites. This is the beauty of auto queue. Even as I'm focused on the defense, my TC and my village center continuing to produce economy. Not allowing myself to fall behind here. And there it is. The attack falls flat. I think that it might have been more dangerous if it had come in earlier, and you will run into opponents who will be able to rush you faster. That is the concern. You could probably get out barracks faster, and if you correctly identify your opponent's strategy, between the village center, the TC, your pharaoh, the priest, and your barracks, and the barracks units, you should hopefully have enough to repel that attack and keep the good times rolling. Now we see from the beautiful point of view of, you know, the spectator view that we have 69 bills to my opponent's 52. We've got an eco lead. Once again, I want more food. I've got the favor, why not? I clicked up rain one more time. My opponent, whoa, he's got some farms of his own, so he's benefiting from this some, but not as much as me. I don't think he has as many farms. He was in the middle of getting them built when I started rain. So, enjoy that, Kwakusha 94. Enjoy the blessings of Ra. Your opponent. We'll see if it helps. Alright. Meanwhile, I'm continuing to pick up upgrades. I'm upgrading my axemen, upgrading my slingers, getting up my blacksmith techs, the armory technologies. You know, making sure that they are bringing as much damage to bear as they can. Heavy axemen, looking like a boss. Now, let's talk about those Age 3 god options. You've got some interesting choices, and I think unlike in Age 2, where, in my opinion, in a 1v1, Ptah is really, I think, the god of choice that you want to go for. Here, you can go either way. You've got Sobek, whose god power is Locust Swarm. This is a cool power because it destroys enemy farms. Let's say that your opponent knows that you have rain and maybe wants to take advantage of it, like Kwakusha 94 was here. If I had a scout that scouted up these farms, I could go Sobek, use Locust Swarm to just immediately destroy all these farms, and then cast rain and just inhibit my enemy's ability to benefit from that power. So that's a cool way of impacting your opponent's economy. It's subtly aggressive like that. Also, as we see a little bit of a fight here, this one Bull Minotaur versus a whole bunch of heavy axemen. He's also got the unique tech Dark Water, which gives camels more HP. And that's on top of Ra already giving his Migdol Stronghold units more HP. So I think that Sobek is a good choice if you're up against a player who's going heavy into cavalry. Like if this were Poseidon, I think Sobek would be the right call here. On the flip side, Sekhmet has the Citadel God power, which is really helpful if you're on the way up to Age 3 and suddenly you get attacked, like I was in this game. You throw a Citadel down and it just makes your TC that much stronger and that much harder hitting, right? Plus, you got Slings of the Sun, which make your Slinger units, which are already kind of a favored unit of mine when playing as the Egyptians. Slingers are anti-archer units, but Slings of the Sun give Slingers additional attack damage versus infantry. So they're a way better sort of all-around unit. They're good against archers, they're good against infantry. Obviously, you don't want cavalry to get in the way. I sent one guy out to scout. And I was thinking maybe I would do something fun with shifting sands, but we'll save that. Keep that in the back pocket for another day. So, Slings of the Sun, an amazing unique technology for slingers. And then Bone Bow adds range to chariot archers. And chariot archers are an extremely strong Migdol stronghold unit. So, really the question boils down to what kind of enemy are you playing against and what sort of unit do you want to produce out of the stronghold. If you're up against Cav and you want to go camels, I would say go Sobek. But otherwise, if you're thinking about massing up either chariot archers, like I am here, or elephants, you can also use your rain power to get up an incredible elephant army. That's a really good choice. So you want to get up an elephant army or a chariot archer army, and maybe back them up with slingers, right? I think that Sekhmet is the right call, particularly against archer cities, right? Because you're going slingers there. Also, don't forget too, Sekhmet has another unique technology. I don't remember the name, but it gives catapults, makes catapults available to you in Age 3. So if you want to try to end the game in Age 3, then I think Sekhmet is a good choice. Here's a big battle, and my poor guy's getting blown up by Manticore. I will be honest with you, I did not expect the focus on myth units that Zeus is bringing to the table, which again, I should expect because that is one of Zeus's strengths, is favor generation. So we should expect a lot of myth units from a Zeus player. I'm going to back up. I'm going to use both of these strongholds to really hold the line here. Again, just using my amazing economy to get down a third stronghold. And just lock this gold down. Got this 4 gold here. You know, getting the back gold, working on that.
Good.
This is dangerous. I mean, the chariot archers, fortunately, they do have that extra range. I think I picked a bone bow at this point. Maybe not. Going in just to kind of, you know, try to buy some time for the stronghold to come up. Come up, it has. Meanwhile, I need to mass up priests. Priests and pharaohs are your response to myth units. They are the hero units of choice, so I need to mass up a whole bunch of them. Now, with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about Age 4. And, by the way, I'm only just now picking up Hands of the Pharaoh. This is an Age 1 tech. It lets your priests pick up relics, and it increases their attack range, which would be very useful if we're getting into a fight against myth units. Yeah, where are you going with those Manticore? Alright. Anyway, I'm noticing the hoplites kind of caught out. They're going to get blown up by the chariot archers. Or are they? At this point, honestly, I could be leveraging my economy even better. I've got thousands of food, wood, gold. I should be building more monuments. Guys, in case I haven't said it before, I am not a pro player. I'm not the best at the game, but I am having an absolute blast learning it. So, as I watch this game, one thing, I should be leveraging these resources better. Getting out more monuments, so I got more favor generation going. Especially the tier 5 monument, it produces a lot more favor than the others. So, it would be good to get that one up and running. And then just actually producing more and more army. I should be at 200 pop by now. Right. Boom. But the Manticores go down. Feel like that kind of gives me an edge. And that, speaking of kind of resources, let's talk about the Age 4 god options, because once again, these are fascinating choices. If you are up against an opponent that is going heavily into myth units, like we actually see right here with Zeus, I think Osiris is the choice that you want. He's awesome versus myth armies because you have his Son of Osiris god power, which turns your Pharaoh into an incredible all-around superhero unit, especially devastating as a hero unit versus myth armies, right? And then you also have the unique tech New Kingdom. Now, Son of Osiris, when you create that Osiris character, you're going to spawn in a new Pharaoh. New Kingdom gives you another Pharaoh. And if you have a lot of favor, you can keep casting Son of Osiris, so you can get just an army of Pharaohs and Sons of Osiris, just incredible anti-myth options that are available to you. I feel really confident about my situation at this point. Going on the offense, knocking out. You know, I'm sacrificing some bills, but that's okay because I know I can replenish them pretty quickly. And if he's going to just destroy his army just to kill a couple bills, for me that's more than worth it. Also, for Osiris, you have Desert Wind, which gives camels more attack, HP, and movement speed. So, I'd also say maybe if you're playing against a Cav player, you're already massing up a lot of camel riders, Osiris would be a really good choice. But then on the flip side, you have Horus, who empowers axemen and spearmen even further. There's some unique techs that just make them even better. So a very good way of really using Barrett's units with their full potential and creating mass armies and leveraging that incredible economy to devastating effect. I think Horus is a really good choice there as well. So depending on the army, depending on the situation, you've got options. Okay, but here I am. Son of Osiris, Chain Lightning, just devastating. Even to heavy hoplites. You don't want to mess with this dude. Be careful with the Son of Osiris because he cannot be healed. So you want to be careful with this guy. Don't just throw him away. It costs 350 favor to cast this again. So that poor Bull Minotaur, look at those poor myth units. Absolutely getting obliterated. Here we go. Going on the offense. I've built several siege works to get up catapults. Honestly, not strictly necessary. I could just kind of go in and just start wrecking face with my chariot archers, my Son of Osiris, and then massing up infantry barracks units behind this. So I have played. I've done a lot of playing around with this build, trying to figure out the best way of making it work. I've had a lot of success with this version of the build. I've really been enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below. What's your experience with Ra been like? Is he in a good spot now, or does he need nerfs, even more buffs? Let me know, and tell me what you want to see next from Iron Kaiser Gaming. Hope you enjoyed it. For now, this is yours truly, the Iron Kaiser, signing off. Have a great one out there.